You're having a great day. Welcome to my channel. My name is Tina. So in today's video, I'm going to be decorating our kitchen for the Christmas season, and it's probably going to take a couple of days time because I'm getting a really late start in the day, but I want to go ahead and get started anyway. I have a lot of decor spread out on our kitchen table. I also have a table set up in our living room with decor on it that I can choose from, and I'm ready to get this space decorated. So one thing that's different in here is I moved our old console table in here. It actually fits perfectly on this wall. I really thought I was going to get rid of it, but if you saw my decorating the living room video, I got a new table for in there. This is the old one, and I decided to try it out in here, and I actually really like it. So at least for the Christmas season, I'm going to use it, and then I'll decide after that. I like that I have extra space to put food or decorations and all that for the holidays, so I am going to enjoy having it, that little bit of extra tabletop space right there. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and hang up my wall decor, so let me show you what I picked out. So if you saw my Walmart Christmas haul video, I picked out one of these, but I mentioned I thought it would be really pretty to have 3 lined up on a wall. Well, I kept thinking about it, and I went ahead and picked up 2 more. So I'm gonna get these hung up, and I think the center one, I'm going to decorate it just a little bit further and dress it up, and I think it's gonna be really pretty. So let's get these hung up and see how it looks. So I really like how that looks. I'm so glad I went ahead and got 2 more of those pictures. But to dress it up just a little bit further, I'm going to add a red bow to the center picture. So I'm going to go do that real quick. So I love how that turned out. I just used red ribbon, tied a simple single loop bow, left the tail ends really long so that I could cut them to the length that I wanted, and I just used a tiny amount of hot glue to attach it to the top of one of the trees, and I just think it's so pretty. So now I'm ready to move on. Let's go ahead and tackle the Christmas tree. So here's the ribbon I'm going to be using on this tree. I have a really big roll of it. I think I purchased it at Costco a few years ago. The main colors are going to be red and silver. So basically I'm going to take 2 of the little branches and latch them around the ribbon and just twist them. That way it's held in place really well. And then I'm just going to make it a loop, just a loose loop. You can make it as big or as small as you want. Go pick a spot in the tree, and then I'll do the same thing and latch 2 branches together and just twist them. And that's going to hold my loop in place. And I'm just going to continue working down the tree. So I have 1 piece of ribbon on the tree. It's done, and I'll show you a little bit closer up because I'm not sure if you could see it very well where I had the camera. So I'll show the next one a little bit closer up so you can see exactly what. So I'm taking a piece of ribbon, and I'm going to find 2 branches that I can latch it around. And I'm just going to twist those together to hold it in place. And then I'm going to make a loose loop, as loose or as tight as you want. And then I'm going to find 2 more branches and twist those around. Over here. And then I'm just going to continue working down the tree. And you could go diagonally, you could go straight down. Because I want this to be pretty full of the ribbon, I'm going to cut some pieces and tuck them in as well in different areas. So I'm probably going to cut like 16 to 18 inch pieces, dovetail the ends, and then I am just going to place them in the tree as well, just to give more dimension, a little bit more texture, and just add in places where I feel like it needs a little bit more. Definitely going to add a lot more to this tree, but I do want to go ahead and add some more ribbon as well. And this is the ribbon that I had picked up. It's Kirkland brand, and that's about all it says about it, except 50 yards, so a lot of ribbon. And then I'm gonna make loops. I'm just gonna make, see if you can see it. So I dovetailed the ends. I'm just gonna make a loop, leave the ends out, and I'm gonna put this on some branches. Just the way I was latching the ribbon on, I'm gonna do the same thing to some of these. So I'm gonna take a couple of branches and just twist them around. Already looks better. Dovetailing the end. Make a loop and find a spot to put it. So I'm happy with how that looks right now, and if I need to add a few more pieces later on, I can do that as well. But I have several of these white wood bead garlands, so I'm gonna go ahead and add those to the tree next. Loving how this looks, and now I'm ready to add my topper. So I am going to use the same ribbon and make a big poofy bow. So let me show you how I'm doing that, and we'll get it placed on the tree. So I'm just using the same ribbon, and I'm gonna make several loops. I think I'll probably go 8. And because it's one-sided, I am gonna twist it. So I am just going to make a loop, whatever size I think, hold it in the center, and then make another loop. That's a little big. I don't want a massive topper because I'm going to be using some picks. So I am going to make it a little bit smaller. So here's one loop for each side, and then I'm going to twist it. That way the same print of ribbon is on the same side. Make another loop the same way. So I have 2 loops on that side, and then I need to twist it again to keep the same print and make my other loop. So now I have 2 loops for each side, twist it again. Now I have 3, twist it again. So I have 3 loops for each side, and I'm going to do one more so that I have 4 loops for each side. And I do want some tail ends, so I'm going to go ahead, twist it like I was making a loop but I'm not. I'm going to make a really big loop. So I'm just going to make a large loop over here, and this is going to be my tail ends. And I think I'm actually going to go ahead and add 2. Now this can be a little bit tricky, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it where I think it needs to be. And I'm just going to loop that around. So you can see I ended up with 2 loops. It sounds way more confusing than it is. I'm hoping I'm explaining it correctly. Once you get the hang of it, it's really simple. But you can see I made 1 large loop, and then I cut the ribbon and made a second. And then right here is what's going to hold it all together. And I'm going to use a piece of paddle wire to do that. You could use zip ties, you could use pipe cleaners, whatever you have. You can use jute string, anything that's strong enough to hold. And I'm just going to secure it right here. I'm hanging on to that center part while I work with one hand. I'm just pulling my wire tight, and I am going to twist it off. And then I'm going to leave my wire long so that I can attach it to the tree. And then for the ends, I'm just going to go ahead and cut these and dovetail them. And there I have my bow. So I'm just going to zhuzh it a little bit and get it attached to the tree. And then I have some picks I'm going to add to the tree as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of them or not. Most likely I will. How the tree turned out, and now I'm ready to move on to my China hut. So I'm going to go ahead and get my garland hung up. I can see that my camera battery is about to go out on me and need charged. So this may end up being where I stop for the day, but I'll just see how far I get and how fast. So I got my garland hung on my China hutch, and I just draped it over the top. I actually used 2 different types of garland. I wanted it to have a fuller look to it, and added some white Christmas lights, and I have them plugged in back behind the China hutch. I had some red berry picks left over, so I tucked them into the garland, and then I also added some bows using that same ribbon. So So I went ahead and placed my big nutcracker up there as well as my vintage tree. I need to get batteries for both of those because they do light up, but for now I think they're pretty the way they are, and I'm just gonna go ahead and leave them up there. And I think I'm gonna move on to adding my Christmas dishes. So here's a look at my Christmas dishes, and they have the holly berry print with gold detail. Here is the name of them, and I actually got these at a consignment store. They did not sell when they had them in the store, and then they marked them down. They marked them down again, and I got this entire set for $1. So I'm excited to have my own Christmas dishes to display this year. So let's go ahead and get these in the hutch. So I actually ended up getting 2 different sets of Christmas dishes at the same time. The other set is much larger. It has deer on it, but I chose to use this set this year. I just think they're very simple but very pretty, and I really like how they look in my hutch. So I decided to go ahead, dress it up just a little bit further with some color by adding a simple Santa Claus and some bottle brush trees, and then a couple different votive candle holders. And then I'm going to move on to the next shelf. On this shelf, I ended up moving things around a little bit until I got it the way that I liked, but I am so happy with how this shelf turned out. I just used my vintage looking bells that I had picked up at Hobby Lobby this year, as well as a Merry Christmas sign, and then I used some of my cookbooks as well as a large bottle brush tree, and then the vintage truck looking canister that I had picked up. I think it was Dollar General a few years ago. And then on the bottom, the last place to decorate on my china hutch, I chose to add in a wax warmer and then a dough bowl that I filled with just some random Christmassy or wintry things. I used some large pine cones and Christmas ornaments, bottle brush trees, and I also used some floral picks that I cut apart and just tucked into the arrangement, and I think it turned out so pretty. since I had moved my fruit bowl, I needed to add something else decorative in this corner, so I decided to use my cake stand, and then I just added some faux snow, some of these little scatter pieces that I had from Dollar Tree, a little miniature truck, and that's what I'm going to put on this side, as well as a glass tree that I just put some peppermint candies in. Very simple, but I think it's very pretty. It has been several days since I put the camera down from decorating in the kitchen, and I left off at the China hutch. So a couple of things that I've changed. Obviously, I've cut my hair, it's much shorter now. And then the wax warmer, I took that out and put an essential oil diffuser here instead. So I'm ready to get back to decorating, and I'm gonna start at the console table. This table was our old one from the living room. I really thought I was gonna get rid of it, but I tried it out in here and I actually really like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it decorated for Christmas. I don't know if it's gonna stay in this space, but at least for Christmas, I'm gonna use it. So let's get it decorated. So on the table, I added a lot of really pretty decorative accents, a Charlie Brown tree, a vase with some floral pigs, a miniature tree, some silver trees with red berries that I thought went perfectly with our Christmas tree and the colors that I have going on. I also am using some red candles and a really pretty red berry garland that I added some lights to, and I think this space turned out so pretty. On the bottom, I do have small dogs that run around in here. I am just using a Dollar Tree Christmas tree and then a little basket that looks like a handbag. I thought about putting some Christmas floral picks inside, but I think I'm just gonna leave it the way it is and call it good. So I think that turned out really, really pretty, and I'm loving all of the red and silver that I have going on in the kitchen. The table, I just went very simple with a poinsettia placemat, a wood vase, and some Christmas floral picks. And then I moved over by the back door, added some more picks to my hanging basket, as well as an ornament, a Merry Christmas pillow, and then a sign, a decorative wood tree that I had made many years ago, a little snowman, a decorative Christmas truck, and for the bottom shelf, I just added a simple basket with some ornaments. kitchen island, I added a decorative placemat, a cookbook stand, and then a tray. It was actually a plant stand that I turned into a tray that I filled with some more pine cones, Christmas ornaments. I think that's just such a fun and easy way to dress up a space. And then I went ahead and put a Merry Christmas plate on my cookbook stand and used the little weights to hold it in place. Added a small snowflake, a little snowman, and I think it's very simple again, but very pretty for Christmas. Just fun and festive. And then for the top, I wanted it to be pretty clear because we do use the top of this cart. So I just added a simple kitchen towel, folded it in half, and my Christmas tree serving tray that I had picked up at Walmart recently. I think it was right around $10, but I thought it was so pretty and such a fun addition to use for Christmas. Moving over to my chicken wire shelf that I had actually made for my kitchen. I really enjoy decorating it. I wasn't sure if I would get tired of it because it does take up a lot of real estate on the counter, but I actually have been really enjoying decorating it. So I end up changing things around several times until I get it the way that I want it. The towel that I used the first time, I thought it blended in a little bit too much, so I changed that out. And then the coffee mugs, I'm using those to just hold some candy canes, and then I have some peppermint candies in a canister. The little miniature lamp is from Kirkland's, and then I'm going to use a battery powered candle that's on a timer so it will light up at night and light up the interior of the shelf. And the little Christmas tree that's on top of the Santa Claus is actually an ornament, and it lights up as well. So I think it's going to be really pretty at night. And then I just added some fun extras, different things that I had around my house to dress this space up. I think in the end it turned out really, really pretty, but I did end up changing things several times till I got it the way that I wanted it. I think that just about wraps up decorating our kitchen for the Christmas season for 2023, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Really enjoying all the red and the silver that I chose to use this year. I hope you enjoyed this video and it gave you a few ideas. If you enjoyed it, like always, please give it a thumbs up. Like, comment to let me know. I'd really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day, and thanks for watching.